Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, namaste. We can hear you.
Namaste. Guruji, what is the actual relation between here in chapter 1 and chapter 2?
Sorry, repeat
Here,
again.
The relation between here the section 1 and chapter 1 and chapter 2 of Kathopanishad. I'm asking this question because in chapter 1 they are directly telling it is a samvada between Nachiketa and Lord Yama. Whereas in chapter 2, we have to assume that even today what you taught, that we are assuming that the question has come from Yama, Nachiketa and Yama is answering. Why have they not directly told? Like Nachiketa Uvacha or Yama Uvacha. Is there any specific reason why the Rishi has deliberately avoided making it explicitly clear?
I don't know. I don't know that. I cannot answer that question. I can only say that Upanishad is cryptic, number one. Number two, Upanishad figures out things that we can figure it out. The exact reason I don't know. We have to ask the Rishi why he's left this out.
Guruji, I thought even in the first chapter, Shankaracharya says that and not the Upanishad itself.
Say that again.
Even in the first chapter, it is not explicitly stated in the Upanishad, but it is Shankaracharya who is giving us that Mrityu Vacha or Nachiketa Vacha part is coming from the Bhaashyam as opposed to, the first part of the Bhaashyam, right?
Yeah. So the dialogue is between Mrityu and Nachiketa, no doubt. The word Nachiketa is there in the Upanishad, and Mrityu also is there. Okay, the word Yama Mrityu also is there in the Upanishad. So now who is talking to whom? You just base it on context. And if it is difficult to base it on context, then Shankaracharya has to come. So it's not difficult, Hariji. It is based on the meaning of the mantra, we know who is saying it. Now you can argue. You can even argue.
No argument.
No, you are not arguing. You can even argue. We can even argue that maybe Yama could have said Tadetaditi Paramam Sukham Khatam no Vijay. How are we going to know this? Like that, teachers also ask the same question.
Yeah, like a rhetorical question.
Rhetorical question, yeah. So that's also acceptable to me. Right? If you say that is what it is, that's also fine. We are not hung up on that. We want to understand the content of the mantra. So if somebody were to argue it is not Nachiketa or Vacha, it could be Yama Vacha, that is also okay with us. It doesn't change what we study.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
In this, in the last verse, they have, the Muni has, Rishi has indicated about Vidvit, the lightning, as that even the lightning, it cannot, it can't illumine the consciousness. The same and type of Adesha has been shown even in Kathopanishad, where the Rishi is comparing Brahman with and blinking of eye. Is there any contradiction here? What is shown in Kathopanishad and what is shown?
No, it is identical. Yet shrotrena na shrunate yena shrotramidam shrutam. That which you cannot hear with the ears, but that by which the ears hear. Yet chakshusha na pashyanti yena chakshugimsi pashyanti. That like that, a big list is given. Yan manasana manute, that which cannot be objectified by the mind. Yenahur manomatam. That by which the mind is able to do what it is doing. Like that it says. It's the same thing. Ditto.
No, the last Kathopanishad at the end, they are bringing lightning and blinking of eyes,
Okay. All right.
where they are indicating as positive that with the lightning or with the blinking, if we contemplate on that, you will be able to reach the ultimate for the last grade of students, who could not get initially.
Okay.
So whereas here it is,
That is
I don't
upasana.
know.
And that is upasanam. This is jnana.
Oh,
Upasanam and jnanam are two different things.
okay. Now clear.
Yeah.
Clear.
Good questions. Thank you, Hari. Bhagya, go ahead.
Yeah, quick one, Jay Kumarji. Nivrittaishanaha, he talked about three kinds of desires, right? Putra, Vitta, and what was the other one?
Lokaishanayascha. Loka.
Okay.
Loka means what meaning can you give to loka?
Can you say that again, please? Putraishana and
Putra, Vitta,
Lokaishana.
and Loka.
Yeah.
Vitta. What is Vitta?
Putraishanayascha. Vittaishanayascha.
What is Vittai?
Vitta.
Vitta is-
Vitta means wealth. I think the word
Oh.
wealth itself comes from Vitta. I don't know. You have to look at it. Vitta and wealth, I see a lot of connection. Anyway, Putraishanayascha, Vittaishanayascha, Lokaishanayascha.
Then
You
there
see?
is a Vishayeshana. Vishayeshana.
Ah,
That also.
Vishayeshana. Vishayeshana. It says later. Desire for things in general.
Yes.
Things, Vishaya. Because Atma is Avishaya, That is why. So, what does.
I have heard there is a good relation between the word look and loka.
Yeah.
Loka,
Yes. Yes, there is a. Because look.
means see, and
Lok-
loka means
Lokyate anena iti. So, the word lokaha, world, is whatever is perceived by you is the world. That is how it is called. From looking, it becomes lok.
yeah.
The result of looking is lok.
It could be reversed from Sanskrit loka. Look would have come.
Yeah, yes. So, yeah, you're right. So,
But
etam
here,
vai.
Lokai. Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
Please
let's
go.
finish this. Etam vai tam atmanam viditva. That's what I think you've written down, right?
Yeah, I didn't write that whole thing, but in that Nivrittaishanaha, right? We were talking about it in the
Yeah.
Bhaashyam.
So,
People
correct.
who gave us the three kinds of desires.
Correct. That is one I
Yeah.
mentioned. Mantra.
Yeah.
351. Brihat.
Yeah, 351. Bradaranyaka. I didn't write that down actually.
So Lokaishanaya means what? People,
Loka icha. Loka icha.
relationships.
Correct. So, entire relationships or things. Loka. Everything other than Putra and Vitta goes into Loka. That's the way I interpret it.
Why is Putra so special, Jay Kumarji?
You keep saying it. Hey, I will give up the Loka for the sake of my Putra, okay?
Okay.
I don't need any happiness, nothing. My joy comes from my Putra. That's it. Somebody says that, you go, you do whatever you want. I'm not interested. Putra governs
Because
everything.
Putra is Purnamno Naraka Trayate. Adanaala.
That is one definition given to
He wants to summarize his Ragadvesha, Guruji, like Vishaya of Putra, Vitta, and Loka is something to do with Ragadvesha.
Is something to do with Ragadvesha.
Because all these things are examples which can which is
Bandhu.
basically attachment and aversion, right?
Right. So they're all, see, among the things, if you start listing the things that govern your life, then Putra Putri comes on top. So very simple. Then Vitta, because people can give up their wealth for their children's sake. Therefore, Vitta is second, can't be first.
Yeah, okay.
And
And
so,
the last, could it be heaven?
could Loka be heaven? Yeah, everything other than Putra and Vitta. Loka means all the 14 worlds or all the 7 worlds. Why say 14 worlds? Nobody is going to say, I feel like going to Naraka and checking it out. Don't have that kind of desire.
That's what I meant, Guruji. The dvesha to go to Naraka also could be here, right, Aishana?
Now you said desire. So, yeah, finally all Ragadveshas come. Yashana literally means desire. So, desire for a Swarga Loka. All dharma is done to gain the punya to go to Swarga Loka. So, Purushartha. Dharma Purushartha. It is referring to dharma. Lokeshana is referring to dharma Purushartha. And Vitta is Artha Purushartha. Putra is Kama Purushartha. Think about it. I mean, just roughly, need not be exact. Putra gives security also, Okay. Hemaji, go ahead. So Hemaji mentioned this Putta, etc. Put means Naraka. Naraka. So Naraka. Narakat Trayate iti. One who protects one from going to Naraka is called a Putra. There is the definition for the word. That is what Hemaji was. Put means Naraka. Anyway. Hemaji, go ahead.
That Yatayaha, does it refer to the ascetics? Yati? Yatira?
It can refer to you also.
Swamigal.
It can refer to you also. If you are putting in effort, then you are a Yati. If you are going all over the world not studying Shastram, then you are not Yati. Once in a while, come to Zoom class and say something. That is not called Yati. So, but if somebody is seriously studying, seriously thinking through all this, then that person is a Yati.
இல்ல சாதாரணமா இந்த சுவாமிகள் எல்லாம் யத்தின்னு சொல்றா இல்லையா அதுக்காக
And that word Yati is used for that. So,
எத்திராஜா சொல்றோம் நம்ம பரம ஆச்சாரியால சொல்றதே சொல்றோம் இல்லையா அதுதான்
Yati. So that is
knowledge came from that. Otherwise, Yatri.
Yeah. So Yati is referred to somebody who was given up, sannyasi. Somebody who was given up.
Ascetic.
Putra with the locationas. They're all Putra with the. But I'm saying you also can be a thief if you want. So let's keep that in mind. We should not. I'm purposely saying it because otherwise we are all different. We can't. They're all yatis. We are all very different. No, we cannot be yatis. Sitting where we are, we can be yatis. Okay. So
where yatna is there, then yatitvam will come.
Correct.
Prayatna is there, yatitvam will come.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Okay, thank you, Guru.
So, yeah. Vang manasayaha agocharam, right? So, Atma cannot be explained with words, nor can it be grasped by the mind.
Correct.
Perceived by the mind.
Correct.
But yet we are using words and using our mind to understand.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But the assimilation of this will will happen when it is assimilated as one's nature. Like, we don't think about our eyes seeing, right? We just take it for granted, or breath going in, we just take it for granted. So the knowledge, that's when that is when Jivan Mukta happens.
That is one.
I don't even know how to say.
That is one means what is one?
Meaning that is when you assimilate this knowledge is when Jivan Mukti, that is the moment of
Correct. That is the aha moment, if you want to use the word aha. Yes.
So, just curious here, have you, in your experience, you've met so many Mahatmas, anyone has said, I am the cause of this world?
Not in a conversation like this. Not in a conversation. Why would anybody say in a conversation, I am the cause of the world? It's not relevant at all. In a Laukika conversation, it's not relevant.
Swami Ramatirtha, he
Okay,
always...
See, point is this. I don't know the purpose behind Swapna's question. So, what is the purpose behind the question, right?
No. A purpose, it came across as a joke, but no, seriously, no. Meaning, in my mind, I would say Puja Swamiji is a Jivan Mukta. Right? That's the only person that comes to my mind. So I don't know. So does a person who is a Jivan Mukta, even among his students who are, Yatahas, right? Would he ever say something like this?
So when you say
Meaning, how is it how would we know that he's a Jivan Mukta? Like, this is my Shraddha or my respect for Puja Swamiji that I am saying this. And I believe, and 100% I'm sure. But how would we know?
How would you know anything? How would you know that the teacher that who taught your son was really good, knew mathematics? How would you know? You can't know.
Guruji, only a Jivan Mukta can tell somebody else is a Jivan Mukta.
Lama, that is fine. But then how will you know? How will you know? Is there some sign that is there that says they change? What is the physical manifestation of Jivan Mukta?
Chapter Arjuna.
Okay. But that's why they say all these lingas are all there. So Vitteshanayasa, Bhikshacharyam Charanti, etc. So you can make out a Jivan Muktaha can make out another Jivan.
Yeah, that is it.
That statement we can accept. But other than that, it's not possible. How can you make out? How can a Ajnani make out a Jnani? Not possible. Because Jnanam itself nasti atra. So there, how can you identify something that I myself don't know? Not possible.
In reality, it may not be a relevant question also for Jnani, right?
So not relevant means, what do you mean by not relevant?
It is self. Finally, it is about the self. Whether I am, got the liberation or not. That's more important, right?
Correct.
In that sense,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
Guruji, in this context, there can be only two categories. Either I am a Jnani or I am an Ajnani. I cannot claim I am a partial Jnani. I am 20% Jnani. Either I am a 100% Jnani or a 100%. All the rest of the intermediary thing is all only path.
So what we say is this. Jnanam takes place.
Yeah.
Okay, Jnanam takes place. all along I was thinking it is snake. Suddenly I know it is rope. Instantaneous. It is instantaneous.
Yeah.
It doesn't slowly, the ropeness is coming on the snake. It's not like
No.
okay. But then that person's a jnani, rope jnani, correct?
Yeah.
Rope jnani, no doubt about that. But then, because habitually this guy is used to responding in a particular way, the guy will continue to respond in that way. Then he has to tell himself, oh, it's not a snake. Oh, it's not a snake. Oh, it's not a snake.
Neti.
Therefore, neti illa. The first Moola Vidya Nivaranam takes place. Moola Vidya, right? Main knowledge that this is not a snake takes place. Afterwards, it's called Tula Vidya.
What is it called?
Tula.
Okay.
Tula means periodically I have to tell myself, okay. Because this knee-jerk response is always there. And that takes a little while. So that is what is called Jnana Nishtha. Jnanam, then Jnana Nishtha. Correct? Otherwise, there should not be a word called Jnana Nishtha. That means then the person is no longer bound by his past vasanas and things like that. Jnanam has taken root. Correct?
Yes. So jnanam, like you said, jnanam is simple, but I think it's the jnana nishtha that is the effort put, right? Antakarna shuddhi and all that helps or makes you assimilate and becomes part of you, right?
Correct.
In our parampara, is there do students get time to just contemplate, like when you do your course 3 years or whatever, are there periods where the student is required to just go into silence and just, is that part of the curriculum?
Yeah. So every day there is dhyanam, no doubt. Okay. During that dhyanam, just like we are doing it once in 2 weeks, right? There it happens once a day, right? And so there is different types of dhyanam. And when I attended the course, I actually told Swamiji, this dhyanam is so important. Dhyanam is so important that why don't we increase the time from 30 minutes to 45 minutes? Or even 1 hour, 45 minutes. Then Swamiji read that question. It is a written question I gave. Swamiji said, I'm so pleased that somebody is asking for more time for dhyanam. Okay, let's make dhyanam 45 minutes, like that, he said. So, because it felt to me like it was over too quickly. And plus, the rest of the day, the answer is no. No, rest of the day, it's just back to back to back. Because that is the purpose of the course. And then after that, you're free. And then you can do whatever dhyanam you want. Like that. That's their objective. And so,
The reason I ask is having done, of course, Prasajit is here, so he has done more. But having done 2 Vipassana courses, I just felt that 10 days of silence and not being, forcefully everything is taken away from you, just with yourself. It is very meaningful, that experience.
very important.
I'm so grateful for that time that I was able to. There were some deep things that it just got out, and that part of me became so free. It just transformed me. So I was thinking, oh, in our parampara, in an ashram, maybe I was just curious. Dhanyavad.
There is, yes, the parampara has it. And it's called sannyas. See, these days we want everything now, here and now, right? And so we try to maximize. Okay, fine. Let's take advantage of what's available. But the parampara says, okay, here is the kashaya vastram. Come, I'll give it to you. I'll give you all the time you want. Like that, gurus are offering. So, therefore, that's why sannyasa ashrama is important. That one has to be there. Soak it all in. And it's critical. It has to come out. The things, all the muck has to come out. And only if you give it time, the muck will come. If I keep pushing all kinds, if I'm busy doing things, nothing will happen here. Nothing will happen. All the same pain will keep coming. I'm studying Vedanta, but still the pain continues. Vedanta, pain continues. Correct. So good observations. When I
Jai Maharaj.
once Swamiji, what he did was, he said, okay, I'm going to Bangalore. And so this is what I want you to do. The next few days, every morning from 8 to 12, come to this room, this hall, and then be with yourself. You can do your dhyana, whatever. If your legs are hurting, you get up, you can walk and then come back again. He used to say, I was so happy, he said. And so we used to, it's optional, but those who want to do it can. Like that, he said. You can do Manasa Puja, all that, so many things can be done. You can chant Rudram itself just by sitting. Entire Rudram, if you know, you can chant it. You can chant it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Don't know what to do. But stay with yourself during the 4 hours, like that he said. So that is a very good thing for it.
Jaykumarji, this is Sapna's question, how one will come to know whether he is a jnani or not. Because jnanam is a knowledge, it occurs. And you are a Satchit Ananda, you are Brahman. That realization is also an experience. You are that, and you have to own it, you have to claim it. It is there. It is there. Because of avidya, mula avidya, we forgot that we are Brahman. We are that Satchit Ananda Rupa. And we superimpose the snake into that rope. So once you come to know that, and as the Shastra says, yes, yataha, you, this, all this Lokashana, this Putra, and all the Moha Bandha, if you are free, and if you are living as though you are living and playing all your roles. Okay, I'm talking about Grahashram. So you can gradually, you can feel that nothing affects, and you are that. And this gradual, first you have to be Siddha Shuddhi, Karma Yogi, all those steps you have to follow. Then gradually you withdraw yourself from external Vishyananda. Then you focus into Satchit Ananda. There the meditation Nididhyasanam helps. And if you are in that Nishtha, it helps you. Of course, no one can certify, or no one can, it's not a patam or it's not a degree who can confer. Of course, sannyasis, it's again, it's a procedure. They get into Kashaya Vastram, they live in the ashram, and they practice all the Shastra said niyamas. And even after getting sannyasa, to be in Shastra Nishta, some of the sannyasis, they go away from far away, they get, Ajnana was engayadu poiduva. They used to go and they won't even tell where they are. They contemplate there. So this Shastra has well explained, and you cannot certify or you cannot claim to be a jnani unless you follow all the steps, and it's knowledge. It's not a place or it's not an object. It's not a degree to be. That's my understanding. You can correct.
Yeah, I mean, everything is right. And those days, even our own families, people used to leave. After some time, they would just leave. That's it. They will just say goodbye and go away. That's it. They are no longer part of the family anymore. You don't know where they are. You don't know where they go. Nothing. They'll just say, they may go to Kashi or something and then spend the rest of their lives there. So this kind of mindset has been there for ages. And Yajnavalkya says that I want to leave. And people say like this, I want to leave. Why would you want to leave? Well, it's finally, that's what it is. I need to be with myself. I need to be with myself. I've understood certain facts, but in order for me to really own it up, I need some time for me. Because this is a huge thing. And so time is needed for us. Correct. Everything you said is right, Rukmini.
Guruji, I feel is a translation of jnanam into knowledge. That is the confusion, because the moment I say that I know a jnani, I have understood a jnani, that itself basic dvaitam is coming. That is, he is somebody else, I am. So if a jnani knows the other jnani, he cannot know, because there is no difference between that jnani and this jnani. So fundamentally, when we are talking about Advaita, then there is no question of me knowing it.
Yeah, that's okay. So we focus on whether we know or not. That's all. Finally, that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
Finally, that's what matters. Whether I know it or not. Am I progressing in this journey or not?
That is.
Finally, that is the most important. Everything else is secondary. Correct?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Hariji. Prasad, go ahead.
Two questions, Kumarji. One is when we talked about renunciate Putresha, Vittesha, and Lokesha. So in Ishavasya also, when we say about Ishavashyam idam sarvam, yat kinchet jagatyam jagat, tena tektena bunjita. So the tena tektena bunjita is talking about the renunciation, which is also similar meaning, right? The three things which you mentioned. Just want to confirm with that.
Ishavasya vidagam sarva. So everything is Ishvara. Everything here in this world is Ishvara. Ishavasya vidagam sarvam. Yatkincha jagatyan jagat. Tena tektena bunjitaha. So people who have given up, Eshanatrayam, they are the ones who see this vision. Ma gridah kasya swindhanam.
Who seeks the wealth?
What is the purpose of seeking and hoarding wealth? What it says. Yeah, same idea, Prasad. Same idea.
The second question is, when we define Brahman, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Today, when you mentioned, I always think that what you mentioned today, that we talk more about existence and consciousness, and Ananda is very less spoken somehow, right? I mean, even in the Bhagavad Gita and all these places, once in a while it comes up. But I was thinking, so whether we talk about the Namarupa, which is in the form of things, objects, and experiences, which are related to our conscious experiences in the mind. All that happens, and the end result is basically whether you feel sukha or dukkha. So it's just Ananda which is expressed or manifested in the mind. And in this case, mind is more important epistemal instrument, because whether it is existence, whether it's consciousness, or it is the Ananda, it is in the mind itself finally. So what I'm saying is the knowing Ananda will actually gives more understanding of existence and consciousness. So Ananda seems to be more important here in that sense. Because, right, I mean, it's the final result which comes, like it is either Sukha or Dukkha, which is the name and form manifested in the mind for objects and experiences. So when we talk about Ananda, that's more, the three of them are the same. There's no difference as definition. But for the sake of discussion, when we divide them, putting into buckets like objects, experiences, and joy or fulfillment is the final fulfillment and joy, and hence I'm considering Ananda is more important to understand. Your comments.
Yeah, Sat is Chit, Chit is Ananda. So there can't be any other source of Ananda. No object can be a source of Ananda. It's impossible. And so Sat and Chit are, we start our analysis with Sat and Chit, and we end up with Ananda. Yeah, you're right. And that also takes a little time. Ananda means we have to immediately bring Ananta. Ananta is equal to Ananda. Ananta also is not difficult. That is also not difficult. So, Ananta, then Ananda. Ananda and Ananta have to go together. Any idea of finitude will take away that much amount of Ananda from us. That is why in a moment of joy, the subject-object both coalesce. There is no longer a subject-object triputi, or Viputi is not there. And so that's what makes it Ananda and Ananta. Absolutely no division at all in the moment of Ananda. So I think it falls in place slowly.
Guruji,
Guruji, I have one more doubt.
Yeah, one of you. Go ahead.
Since I'm going through Kathopanishad, hence this doubt. This word yaksha and yakshi, I heard that the word yaksha or yakshi is worship. Can you please say, because we have got a totally different idea about yakshi.
Yaksha and Yakshiya.
Yeah. Are they connected? Then they say yaksha means worshipful, to be worshipped.
Okay, maybe possible. Maybe it has that meaning. Yaksha has the meaning of one to be worshipped. Okay, so what is the question?
Yeah, that's why, because we always heard, at least with less Sanskrit knowledge, the moment I have heard, or we have heard the word yakshi, we had a negative thing that we scare that yakshi were the. So how is it?
Yeah, I don't
just
know.
wanted to get it.
No, I have to look. We have to look into the etymology and all that. Yaksha generally, yeah. Yaksha generally, the Yaksha Prashna and all is there. So Ashariri. Ashari is one type of Ashari. You know what Ashari is?
Yeah, I can understand, because that is exactly what is happening in Kathopanishad. Yaksha appears, then only Agni and Vayu goes and Indra comes back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So.
If you can help me.
Yeah, this common idea of Yaksha Varade attributing fear to all these things.
Yeah.
That's a human problem. It has nothing to do with Shastra.
Okay.
So, you think of Vikramaditya, Vetala. He used to carry the Vetala on his shoulder. And
Yeah.
he didn't say you're a ghost and all that. He used to carry the Dala, answer all his questions patiently. And so those are all very impressive stories. So an object is as dangerous as I make it out to be.
Yeah. Okay. Very logical. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Yeah, Hema was asking a question.
No, in Paramacharya's Daivatin Kural, somewhere I had read about a dog biting into a dry bone. It keeps on biting because the inside of the mouth gets hurt by the dry bone because there is no flesh in it. So a lot of blood comes. The dog thinks that the blood is coming from the bone, but actually the blood is coming from his own mouth. That way, that Ananda or whatever it is there within us. We are we go இருக்கும் இடத்தை விட்டு இல்லாத இடம் தேடி எங்கெங்கோ அலைகின்றாய ஞான தங்கமே. They say, no, like that ஆனந்தம், we look for the ஆனந்தம் elsewhere. அப்படி அது எங்கேயோ படிச்சிருக்கேன், பரமாச்சாரிய புக்ல படிச்சது ஞாபகம்.
That's example is there. That example is there, and the deer example also is there.
And அந்த அனிர்தேசிய விஷ்ணு சஹஸ்ரநாமத்துல வருது. அனிர்தேசிய ஸ்ரீமான் கேசவ புருஷோத்தமஹ.
Yeah, I forgot to ask. I was thinking of asking all of you the question where it comes, but I somehow brought it up.
அப்பவே நான் இதுல நோட் பண்ணி வச்சிருந்தேன் கொஸ்டின்ல கேட்கணும்னு, பட் மறந்து போயிட்டேன். ஸோ ஜஸ்ட் நவ் ஐ ரிமெம்பர் தட். ஐ போஸ்டட் சாட்ல போட்டேன்.
Oh, Anindeshava Pushtiman Keshav
Purushottamah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Guruji.
I put a note somewhere to ask you. Mental note was there, but I forgot.
Even Avyapradesham is also same thing, right?
Correct. So no, this is it. So Anirdesham is Avyapadesham of Mandukya Upanishad.
Seventh mantra. Achintyam Avyapradesham.
Right. Correct. So Nantah Pragyam na Bahish Pragyam no Bhayatah Pragyam na Prajnanagam na Pragyam na Pragyam Adrishyam Avyavaharyam Achintyam Alakshanam Avyapadesham. Correct?
Agrahyam Alakshanam.
Agrahyam Alakshanam Achintyam Avyapadesham Ekatma Pratyesaram Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma Sa Vijnanaha. That Avyapadesham is Anirdesham. Yeah, correct. Remember, Anuradhaji asked this question long ago. What is the meaning of the word Avyapadesham? It is Anirdesham. Good. Thanks for bringing it up. Anirdeshavapu Shriman. Anirdeshavapu. Hey, one whose form cannot be categorically described. Ameyatma, Ameyaha, Aprameyaha. All Vedanta, just loaded. Vishwam, Vishnu, onwards, everything's loaded. Loaded. Okay, so we'll pause with that. Anything else? Unless, yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trilokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.